Why the sizes of earthquakes multiply with respect to its effect, rather than add up. What does the magnitude of an earthquake express? Are the magnitude and the intensity of the earthquake same? How does Richter scale read the magnitude of the earthquake? How accurate is the Richter scale in reading the magnitude of the earthquake? How actually do we measure the earthquakes? GS Paper 3, Disaster Management. What is the context about? A series of earthquakes in Mexico this month has led to inevitable comparisons of size. At magnitude 8.1, the September 8th earthquake was bigger than the September 19th earthquake, 7.1, which was bigger than two earthquakes that followed on September 24th, 6.1 and 4.5. But how much bigger than the other was each? And answering this question would be difficult. Thus we cannot compare the intensity of earthquakes as if we done the magnitude. What does the magnitude of an earthquake express? The earthquake magnitude scale gives a measure of the energy released, although the reading in itself is not of energy. Magnitude is a dimensionless number, no physical units, that is derived from a formula involving a logarithm, which makes the scale exponential rather than linear. The difference between 6.1 and 7.1, therefore, is not the same as the difference between 7.1 and 8.1. In terms of the size of seismic waves, an increase of 1 on the scale corresponds to a 10-fold increase in a quantity called wave amplitude. Are the magnitude and the intensity of the earthquake same? It's important not to confuse an earthquake's magnitude with its intensity. They are different measures. Magnitude is a quantitative measure of the size of an earthquake, while intensity is a qualitative measure of the shaking at a given location. These scale readings are based on factors such as how people perceive the shaking. The same earthquake will have different intensity readings at different places. The farther one moves away from the epicenter, the less intense the shaking. How does Richter scale read the magnitude of the earthquake? The reading on the Richter scale too is derived from a formula that involves a logarithm, base 10. It takes into account wave amplitude, and variations in distance between various seismographs and the earthquake epicenter. It is because of the base 10 logarithm that the largeness of an earthquake, its wave amplitude, multiplies in tens when the magnitude reading rises in ones. It measures a quantity called moment magnitude, which is based on variables such as the area of the fault's rupture, slippage along the fault and the size of the seismic waves. How accurate is the Richter scale in reading the magnitude of the earthquake? The accuracy of the Richter scale, however, is limited to medium-sized earthquakes. Besides, the measurement depends on distance from the epicenter. The modern scale seeks to overcome these shortcomings while maintaining as much parity with the Richter scale as possible. For medium-sized quakes, say magnitude 5, the reading will be similar on the Richter and the moment magnitude scales. How actually do we measure the earthquakes? The power of an earthquake is measured using a seismometer. A seismometer detects the vibrations caused by an earthquake. It plots these vibrations on a seismograph. The strength, or magnitude, of an earthquake is measured using the Richter scale. The Richter scale is numbered 0-10.